Hey everybody, I'm Anthony.
I'm Joey.
And I'm Chris.
We're DarkStar. Today we're going to be watching Death Battle, Goku versus Superman. Dos.
Battle number 2.
Ni 2. Vai. Doing a bunch of languages.
Dos.
Good times. It's the first one I started with, you fuck.
Yeah, I wasn't paying attention.
Anyway, so last time out, Superman kind of whooped on Goku a little bit. Super Saiyan 4 Goku, I think, was the final one they did, or whatever. They blew up the planet, which killed Goku, and Superman was just in space, and then he woke up. And then he flew back around the planet, turned back time, and the planet came back. So, that's what happened with that battle. And naturally, this is one of the most controversial battles in the Versus community sort of deal, because they're such iconic characters that they decided they would look at the update with all the Super and all that kind of stuff. Well, not necessarily Super, but with Battle of the Gods. And they would make an updated battle and see if Superman still holds against the newer versions of Goku, or if Goku has now gotten enough power-ups, or if maybe they made some calculation things in the first one that they wanted to change to see if Goku is stronger than Superman. So, that's where we're at. Yeah. I guess we can go ahead and watch the analysis and then
dog.
Make our picks. Or, well, I've seen it, so. 3, 2, 1, start.
Goku.
Fuck you, Joey.
Superman. Titans of power, champions of unimaginable might, endlessly requested
like my
to
number I
fight
would
each
have.
other. Again, he's Wiz and I'm Boomstick. And it's our
It's just like Star 69 or some shit.
Skills to find out who
Is that what it
would
is still?
win
I don't know if that's still a thing or
death
not.
battle.
In a world
Where one guy gets a horrible haircut.
his name is Chris Giles.
It's just some random guy. I told you what my favorite shit about Super was, right? When they get in those heated fights, and then they just fucking punch like crazy. They're like, the whole time they're fighting.
I can't deal with it. The Goku kills me. Fucking sounds like a female,
Created
dude.
by Jerry Siegel
Female
and
voices
Joe
in
Because it is.
Shooter,
Yeah.
Superman entered the world
I
on
go
the
on
cover
as well.
of Action Comics #1 in 1938. He was the first, and his success paved the way for the superhero genre. The Man of Steel is righteous, courageous, selfless, a perfect boy
Best
scout.
disguise ever,
Very
dude.
inspirational, but man, does it get boring
Glasses on.
sometimes.
Siegel and Schuster were the sons of Jewish American immigrants and knew firsthand what it was like living in a world where they felt alien. Thus, this became the basis of Superman's story.
You know how it goes. His scientist dad found out his homeworld Krypton was getting a bit too explosive and sent his son off to Earth to save him. On Earth, Superman's Kryptonian cells can absorb solar radiation from the yellow sun, giving him awesome strength, speed, durability, flight, and the power to shoot heat from his eyes, which can be large enough to vaporize
Superman's
a
honestly a
planet
G,
or
dude.
precise enough to
He's
perform
really fucking
lobotomies.
powerful. It's
Superman
ridiculous.
was so powerful he could carry entire solar systems on his back or obliterate them with a sneeze. But over 75 years, Superman has changed quite a bit, including going through 2 separate reboots, which we will be focusing on today. These reboots lessened his insane power, not exactly by altering his abilities, but by changing his outlook. Upon discovering his alien powers, the new Superman rejected them, unintentionally instilling mental barriers on his powers, which he would work to unlock through the rest of his life.
Sort of like when you drink too much and don't remember the night before, so you gotta spend all day figuring out how you got yourself a dozen kangaroos and married a lamp. Don't ask.
And then, in 1996, the world changed. Dragon Ball Z came to America.
Dragon,
Yeah.
rock the dragon, Dragon Ball Z.
12 years prior, a mangaka, or author of Japanese comics, named Akira Toriyama introduced Dragon Ball, the story of Son Goku and his quest to become the greatest martial artist in the world, nay, the universe.
Like Superman, Goku was also sent to Earth from a doomed planet and possessed incredible powers. But that's pretty much where their similarities end.
Goku was primarily inspired by the Monkey King Sun Wukong from the Chinese novel Journey to the West. If you have any interest in Asian culture, I highly recommend reading it.
If only it
It's
didn't
inspired
take
far
Goku a whole
more than
episode
just
to do a
Dragon
spirit
Ball.
bomb.
Throw a stone at a shelf of anime, and odds are it hits something inspired by Journey to the West. Anyway,
30 minutes
Toriyama
later.
was smart and knew that fighting is awesome, so Dragon Ball took off like a rocket. Sooner than you can say power levels are bullshit, Dragon Ball became a hit anime and then came to America.
Literally making its own journey to the West, and forever changing the childhoods of many. Dragon Ball Z became the gateway anime to many Westerners. However, since prior anime had very little success
Bro, in school, that's all
overseas
everybody
due to
was
the
drawing. You were
differences
drawing
between
fucking
Japanese and
Superman.
American
Like, you were drawing
the companies
Superman.
responsible for
Fucking
importing
Super Saiyans.
DBZ understandably
Draw Goku
feared
with his
Goku's
baller
character might
hair.
seem a bit selfish and heartless to a Western audience.
I can never do it. I'm
Their
awful. I can't draw at all.
Turn
Yeah, I was
Goku
literally about
into
to crack a joke,
Superman.
but
This decision
You fucked it
resulted
up.
in some
People were drawing
strange
Pokemon in high school.
mistranslations, such as labeling Goku's father as a brilliant scientist,
Yeah, I don't see it.
as well as perhaps Goku's most
I spent my
famous
life like
line,
Jonah
which
Hill
many
in
argue
Superbad.
actually conflicts
Stayed there
with his
drawing
true
dicks all day.
I am the hope of the universe. I am protector of the innocent. I am the light in the darkness.
Oh,
I am true.
I miss this Goku voice. Oh God,
Good.
It's the only one I know.
I know, dude.
And this is where it all
Super's
began.
so good, though, dude.
The nerd
So
debates, the internet wars, East versus West. Which hometown hero would triumph in a brutal fight to the end?
In 2002, Wizards Magazine delivered an answer. They deduced Goku would win, stating that Superman would die to a fall from the moon to the Earth.
A decade later, the website Outskirts Battledome launched, dedicated to answering versus matches. This time, Superman claimed victory. However, the chaotic debate careened out of control and eventually became banned forever.
The arguments only grew. The internet needed a solid answer.
That's where we came in.
And we screwed the pooch.
However, since January 2012, Goku and Superman have continued their adventures. Superman gained an all-new ability called the Super Flare, which jettisons all the solar energy stored in his body, essentially turning him into a solar bomb. However, it leaves him completely drained of his powers for the next 24 hours. As such, he will only use the Super Flare as an ultimate last resort.
Goku attained a new legendary form called Super Saiyan God. Despite being a temporary boost, Goku's body absorbed the godly power, essentially making it his new base form. Then, after mixing its power with his Super Saiyan ability, he became a Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan! Oh, come on! There had to have been a better name. Ultra Saiyan, Master Saiyan, Super Ultra combo with Fry Saiyan, anything but that mouthful.
These new powers have naturally rekindled the ultimate debate.
Is this godly Goku powerful enough to defeat Superman? Or will this just be a repeat of the past?
Man, I'm
Well,
talking myself out of
let's
picking
end this
Goku right
debate
now.
Once and for all. It's time for the rematch of Legends.
It's
That
time
fucking solar flare thing is
for
fucking
a death
crazy.
battle!
I mean,
This whole thing is a battle? Holy fuck.
All right.
battle!
well, and Con, I really want to pick Goku, but even could be even 1v1, 1-1. I'm gonna go with Superman because I think it's gonna. I'm gonna look at it from this standpoint. They're not even gonna bring this up, but if they did a battle of Superman versus Beerus, Superman would fucking murder Beerus, and in Battle of the Gods, Goku goes Super Saiyan God and is on par with him. It doesn't necessarily beat him. And I don't know about Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan. I haven't even seen anything like that yet. So I just feel like the power level is going to be kind of not really going to matter, because if I look at it from the standpoint, literally when it showed the Beerus part, I was like, well, fucking Superman would destroy Beerus, and Goku was on par with Beerus in that fight. So I'm just gonna go Superman, even though I think Goku should win.
Yeah, I think Goku's gonna pull through. I mean,
I hope Goku
they brought
wins.
up what I thought was pretty interesting is because from the thumbnail it just said Super Saiyan God, like that's all you saw, and from the actual like analysis we got Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan.
So that's gonna power up.
That was one of the things that I was worried about because in the show, as they said, Super Saiyan God mode is a time limit, and whenever it goes out, that's whenever they end up finding out that it's more of his body absorbed it, so then he's actually able to turn Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan mode, and that one's that goes as long as he can go. So
another thing with it, fucking, if Superman gets closer to the sun, doesn't it like regenerating faster or some shit like that?
it does all that shit regenerating.
With Goku, fucking, he needs a goddamn sensu bean.
I mean, he draws energy from the sun too. I just think that they draw energy in two different ways.
It's clear. I want Goku to win very badly.
Okay. Yeah, I think they just draw not necessarily two different ways. They just draw it at like different levels, I guess I would say. Toward like how you kind of point out with the whole sensu bean, like the sun could be a sensu bean technically to Superman. To where Goku, I mean, he draws energy and shit from the sun, but I don't think it does anything as far as like healing wise or anything like that. It powers him up and shit.
I didn't even think about the Beerus fight or whatever. Watching it, I was like, Goku's gonna win. He lost. The first one's gonna be 1-1. It makes perfect. I'll have to make a third video at some point to break the tiebreaker. And then I'm like, when it showed the Beerus fight, I was like, bro, if they did Superman versus Beerus, literally would be no contest. I feel like, so I had to go Superman.
I mean, I think Beerus would fuck Superman up, dude.
It would be way better for their channel, if Goku wins, because they will have to make a fucking third tiebreaker year or so.
I said, dude, Beerus would push his shit in, dude. Be done. Game over, dude.
3, 2, 1, go.
The Dragon Balls.
I'm gonna bring Goku back to life. Bro, if that happens, it'll be litty.
It's just like, sorry, dude. He's been wished back to life too many times already.
Hey, Superman.
Son Goku, I've been expecting you.
Ready for a rematch?
It'd actually be a cinematic for one of the games.
This stops here. I'm impressed. I actually felt that.
You haven't seen anything yet.
Neither have you. With every step, an earthquake. With every breath, I could create a hurricane. This is my burden. Be thankful it is not yours.
Don't get ahead of yourself, buddy. You're not the only one with that kind of power.
That's still the scene where Goku goes fucking Super Saiyan 3 is so dope.
Oh, yeah. About against Boo?
Shows all the fucking characters, like their faces reacting to the power they can feel on Earth.
Go ahead and respectfully disagree on that.
Oh, then now what happened?
No, that's what happens.
He was talking about it being awesome.
It takes like 7 minutes.
It does. Ah! Yeah. Does take a long time. Oh, that's cool. I like that.
You can take it, can't you? You're too strong for your own good. Out of my way. This stops here. All right. Have you had your fun? I would prefer we don't accidentally destroy the Earth a second time.
No, I will never back down from a fight.
Superman's gonna chill there and take it, huh? No fucking way.
Yeah, I agree. Bullshit.
I will beat you!
I mean, bro. I need explanation on how that doesn't bother him literally at all.
Yeah, me too.
I'm sorry.
Wow. That was rough.
I can kind of see that part, but the command may not bother him at all.
Why even catch him? You just fried his fucking brain. All right, let me take you to the hospital now.
I believe this is the part where I say, I told you so.
But King Kai, I don't understand.
You can't beat him.
Sure I can. I'll just train harder than ever.
No, Goku. You can overcome any limit put in front of you, but his power has no limit. Even if you somehow found the power to surpass him, you wouldn't have anything left to aspire to. Do you truly want that?
Nah, sounds boring. Oops. King Kai, do you have anything to eat?
Goku, I'm trying to be serious here.
What? My stomach has limits too, you know.
KO!
Whoa! Torches and pitchforks down. Before you start raging, please hear us out on this one, all right?
Goku is incredibly powerful, a skilled warrior.
Apparently not.
Great character.
Whenever Superman can
But
just walk
Superman
right through
is
it.
on a completely different level, one which really doesn't belong in versus matches like these. Sure, due to the writing style of Dragon Ball, Super Saiyan God Goku's exact limits are difficult to pinpoint. Also, Goku will likely achieve a new form in the future. It's just how Dragon Ball works nowadays. However, none of that is really a factor. Goku will always have limits, while Superman's maximum potential is limitless.
Don't believe us? Well, strap in, boys and girls. Let's look at how Superman breaks
He will
reality.
not. He will
One
never
day,
lose a
Superman
death battle.
was
Then
hanging out near Vega, the
Basically.
brightest star in the Lyra constellation.
For the record, that's 25 light years from Earth, or 147 trillion miles.
Naturally, a crisis occurred on Earth, so Superman's photographer buddy Jimmy activated his signal watch, calling for Superman's aid. And Superman arrived in a matter of minutes.
Being a comic book, the time Superman took getting to Earth is unspecified. However, the comic never mentioned or implied any large time lapse, and he arrived as the battle was ending. Even if we seriously lowballed this feat to taking 10 minutes, Superman would be traveling over 800 trillion miles per hour, over 1 million times the speed of light. But more impressively, Jimmy's signal watch operates by emitting a high-frequency sound only Superman can hear, which means Superman heard the signal in the vacuum of space 25 light years away. That is physically impossible, except for Superman.
Oh, you aren't impossible? How about the time he lifted Spectre off the ground? A guy literally made up of eternity. No, not insane enough for you? Well then, how about the time Superman lifted a book of infinite pages? That's right, Superman lifted both eternity and infinity.
Though he did have some help from Wonder Woman and Shazam.
Hey Wiz, what's half of infinity? Infinity.
Regardless, they have limits in their own strength. So while they were lifting a specific set part for each load, Superman was lifting everything else, which literally means everything else. Really, Wonder Woman and Shazam didn't even need to be there.
Superman's held a black hole, survived an explosion equal to 50 supernovas, flew through the center of a red sun, which is like tanking millions of nukes rapid fire, and once easily absorbed enough solar energy to vaporize half a galaxy. And to put an end to the Wizards magazine argument, here he is getting thrown from orbit into Earth with enough force to devastate the planet and cause nuclear winter. Oh look, he stood up moments later, more pissed off than hurt. Oh, and by the way, none of this was pre-crisis.
Believe us, we know none of this makes any logical sense.
And hey, it's not our fault. These writers just keep making Superman the most impossibly OP guy ever. That's kind of what he's all about.
Exactly. Superman isn't just a sketch on paper. He's an ideal. Superman and Goku are more than just characters. They inspire. They show us the best of what we can become. This is why people get so passionate about this debate.
Goku's the epitome of a self-made man in spirit and personal goals. He inspires people to work hard to achieve dreams. To many, Goku is proof that there is no struggle that cannot be overcome.
And the world of Dragon Ball fits this mold. Every obstacle Goku faces in Dragon Ball has a limit he can overtake. Even those called gods in his universe can be defeated and surpassed.
And that is where Superman breaks this matchup. His world just doesn't fit the same mold.
Superman is an all-powerful being who is only weak to alien radiation and supernatural magic. He is not meant to be relatable. He is not meant to lose. While Goku's story is one of a man trying to be the best warrior he can be, Superman's is the story of a god trying to live amongst men. It's not about if he loses a fight, but whether or not he's doing the right thing. That's why he stands for truth, justice, and freedom. That's why he doesn't wear a mask. That's why he's called the Superman.
But hey, we know some of you out there have some questions, so let's knock them out of the park right now.
Technically, if Goku could find a way to draw energy across multiverses, his spirit bomb could possibly achieve the kind of limitless power to match Superman. But not only would that take way too long to charge, providing Superman with plenty of time to kill him thousands of times over, the spirit bomb does not hurt anyone pure of heart, like Superman.
Gohan, you have to bounce it back. If you don't have any evil in you, you'll be okay.
Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan was about on par with Golden Frieza. When asked about Golden Frieza's power level at a panel, Frieza's voice actor said that since Frieza was a nice guy, it's probably 100 quintillion. Which is a pun, because power levels are nothing more than a big joke.
Superman has been beaten in battle before, when he was still learning. Saying Superman should lose because he lost to Doomsday is the equivalent of saying Goku should lose because he was one shot by Raditz. We are looking at these characters at their maximum potential, not from some random point in their timelines.
Goku may have divine ki now, but it's still ki, not magic.
Ki may be spiritual in nature, but it's still a natural source of living energy even Superman possesses. In fact, Dragon Ball emphasizes a clear difference between ki and magic.
And if Goku did destroy the sun or the planet, he can't survive in the vacuum of space. Superman can and could always just fly to another yellow sun, or even a blue one, which boosts his powers even
Actually,
faster.
not true.
Ultimately, Goku versus Superman comes down to a difference of limits and purpose. What happens when you pit a man with the power to break any limits against a being with no limits in the first place? Well, only one has limits to give at all. But
There they are,
exactly
vacuum of
what
space.
makes him such a
Oh
memorable
shit!
character.
Think about it. If you had a Goku
What are you
that was
doing,
as powerful
Goku?
as Superman,
You can't survive out there!
The winner is Superman.
Fucking Superman. Next time on Deathbed.
I'm not trying to talk shit on Death Bell at all. Now you're gonna say that and legitimately show a fucking scene of him doing it. Legitimately right after you say it. Oh my god, that's funny. Oh.
So,
I mean, made a couple good points, I guess. It's just, I'm not mad, obviously. The only I didn't like was fucking the strongest, the peak of Goku currently hits him with a fucking big ass Kamehameha. he just walked
nothing.
right through it like nothing
Absolutely
happened. Then why make the battle at all? Let Superman punch him in the face one time and disintegrate his body. Why have the? I mean,
because
I get.
it's such a big requested like thing.
No, no. Just so
That's why they did it.
I just
I
feel
mean,
like
they
the
said
command-
they said exactly what you're saying though. They said that he doesn't belong in versus battles.
Yeah, they did say that. I just wish the Kamehameha would have hurt him a little bit, like some kind of resistance. Dude, just like Kamehameha.
So this battle doesn't count.
Yep. We knew this was gonna happen.
Oh, you'd already seen the fight?
No, it got
Well, I
spoiled
seen
on one of the other things that we were watching. He had seen it. Completely different channel. So there's no way we could have known. I knew Superman was gonna win.
It was Cell versus.
Yeah,
Different series or whatever.
It's by
It was
different
Team
people, though.
Team 4-Star. You mean?
Yeah, that's what I meant. 4-star, not whatever.
Anyway, so yeah. But you know, obviously you two are big fan. I'm a much bigger fan of Goku over Superman or whatever.
Same.
But
Absolutely.
I think Superman would win. So I'm not as
Makes
broken
crazy
up about it, I guess.
I'm not saying that it's not. I just think it's kind of dumb to sit here and say that somebody like Goku physically can't do anything to him. Like, just physically cannot touch him. I mean, I understand that they go, well, we don't want to go off of those certain instances where, like, it was a one-shot thing that happened, but it's not a one-shot thing that's happened. Like, Superman's gotten his ass kicked before. He might not have died besides Doomsday, but he's gotten his ass kicked before. He got the shit beat out of him by Batman. I mean, come on, dude. Like, Goku should be able to do something. To see him literally walk through the fucking Kamehameha wave at Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan mode and literally not be affected at all. Like, I mean, I'm not saying I had to kill him. I'm not saying I had to burn his fucking skin off. Just a little bit of any kind of struggle, just like and shit like that, like anything. But just walk through and be like, stop. Like, no. That's
and another thing, fucking, because like it showed with the, I mean, I feel like his fucking Kamehameha in that form is stronger than a fucking like some bombs. It shows Superman's outfit fucking burned with pieces of missing off of it from the nuke, but Goku's Kamehameha literally suit untouched as well, perfectly crispy clean.
Dude, you really want to see that Superman dick, huh?
No, just something. It's like it's like nothing happened. It's like Goku said Kamehameha, and literally nothing happened. That's just something should have occurred instead of Superman being like, "This is
It was fucking pretty, dude."
Oh,
No,
they're both-
I will say this though. I will say this to what Chris was talking about a second ago. It's kind of difficult for them too, because so basically what they said, and this is why they did this. But they said basically we're gonna take them at their maxes. So Superman's obviously not at his max when he's getting beat by fucking street level characters or whatever.
Right, I understand that. I completely get that.
Well,
but like, once again, to say somebody as Goku at their max can't even damage him, kind of fucking.
Well, what I'm saying is that the reason why they do that in the first place, though, is that the comics or just Superman in general is written. Basically, he has to contend with all these different universes or whatever. So because of that, they have all these characters have different moments where, like, for example, if you're writing a Batman comic or something, and Batman's like the main character or something like that, like he's gonna get stuff in that where he wouldn't normally get, you know what I mean? Where maybe he can defeat Superman or something like that. Whereas in DBZ, we never see that. Characters are always consistently stronger or weaker unless they get a power up. Like Goku, when he fights Frieza at the beginning, before he's got the power up and all that kind of stuff, Frieza's just stronger than him, just point blank, significantly stronger than him. That's all it is. He powers up, and then he's stronger than Frieza, and then it's over. Like they're not like equally powerful. He's just stronger than him at any point. Like the characters are always either stronger or not stronger than the other characters throughout all of DBZ. So you'd never see like a scenario where Krillin would whoop Goku's ass. Like that would literally never happen. Ever. Unless Goku's like dying. Like that, you know what I mean? Like that's how all the movies work. Even if you think about it, like a lot of the movies or whatever, something has to like happen to Goku so his powers aren't as strong so that he can actually be put on par with some of these like one-off characters that are supposed to be like the big bad of the story or whatever. They either remove Goku so somebody else has to fight him, or they make Goku less strong so that Goku doesn't just whoop their ass right off the bat or whatever, because then you wouldn't be able to have any of these fucking non-canon movies or whatever, because they wouldn't make any sense. Whereas in comics, Spider-Man punches Thanos in the face. Shit like that.
Yeah.
Just dumb shit, you know what I mean? So, I don't know. I think that's why they do that. It's like, how do you have Superman lifting up Infinity and then getting into a fight that lasts more than a billionth of a second against somebody like Batman? Like, how does that work? You know what I mean? It's just
Well, I mean,
so
that one's it's Batman, obviously.
true.
Superman versus
True.
Batman.
Or even
Fuck.
any of the other characters. Like Wonder Woman can't handle any of these other feats. I don't know. Comics are so jarbled because there's such big universes with so many different characters that everybody's got. Anybody who writes a comic like for their character, for that character, is gonna write them stronger than they're gonna be portrayed in a different person's comic, because the main character is basically always shifting, whereas the main character in DBZ is Goku unless they're trying to push Gohan and then they realize that was a stupid idea, so they went back to Goku. So I mean, like, other than that, like, it's always going to be Goku. I don't know.
I don't know if I'd say it was a stupid idea. They just didn't execute it well.
So you'd rather Goku just like was gone from the series and it was just Gohan?
I'm not saying I'd rather like that, but they could have done it and made it well. I mean, if they wouldn't have done that whole god awful Great Saiyan and fucking bullshit.
Worst thing they've ever done, dude. Oh my god.
King Gohan was the fucking truth, dude.
King Gohan was the
See,
shit.
Gohan was alright.
Another
little
Gohan.
Gohan. I mean, I started off not liking Gohan when he was like a little kid.
Yeah, I didn't like him when he was little. I grew to like Gohan like top characters when he done the fucking father son Kamehameha, electricity around him, fighting fucking Cell, arm fucked up like that. That was dope as fuck.
That was pretty dope. That was definitely pretty cool. But by that point, me personally, I'd grown attached to Goku personally. But
oh yeah, absolutely. Like I said, Goku was my all-time favorite character until I saw Tapion. And I was like, all right, cool. As soon as I saw Wrath of the Dragon, I was like, let's go, dude.
So you saw Tapion and somebody hit you upside the head like really hard at the same time.
No.
Something happened bad to
Goku
you.
or Tapion? Oh god.
That's my dude.
You saw Tapion, you were like, definitely not as good as Goku, and then somebody fucking smacked you upside the head at the same time, and you were like, wait, did I say I like fucking Goku? Tapion, dude.
Have you seen Battle of the Gods, Tony?
No.
I love Tapion.
Bruh.
So good.
The Vegeta part is pretty dope.
I've seen that. We talked about that like years ago.
Hold on. Okay, so I want to address something, and whether you choose to put this in a video, I don't give a fuck. I would like it, but
All right. Well, that's gonna do it for this one. If you guys like, comment, subscribe, follow us on Twitter, DarkStar Reacts, check out Patreon if you want to get early access. Until next time, I'm Anthony.
I'm Joey.
and I'm Chris.
We at DarkStar. Thanks for watching, guys.